Hello everybody, hope you guys are good. Hope this battery cooperates with me. So back again in the series. Today we are speaking to Siki Msuseni about building a PR agency. Hope you guys are masking up when you're outside. Hope you guys are behaving, social distancing, all the nitty-gritties of life. So yeah, I'm gonna get into it to speak about how to build a company, which is in PR basically, and how Siki got into it. Let me see if she's live. Okay, she's not yet live. She's not yet there. Cool. Just waiting for her to come online. Where are you, Siki? What are you guys up to? What are you guys doing? How you guys doing? But okay. Where is Siki? I have 30% battery. Cool. Okay, there's Siki.
Hello, D. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How's the sound on your end? Is it good sound?
Yeah, it's good sound.
It sounds like you're on the go. You're just like, you're on 30% battery live. You are informally doing a meeting in the middle of, where are you?
Well, winning. Cool. How are you doing? How are you keeping?
I'm good. Business is tough. There's challenges, but above the challenge. What a fitting time to be having this conversation when it's not all roses and rainbows and butterflies in business. It's tough, but we coach on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an interesting time to be doing basically work. I guess you're in advantage because you're digital, so I guess that helps you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. How did you get into basically building your own agents? What's your journey to here?
Well, you would know the journey. And for those that do not know, thank you so much for having me, though. Creative
Yeah.
Nestlings. I go way back with Creative Nestlings, the Cape Town days when it
Yeah.
was just, starting off. But my journey to where I am has been a series of events, has been a series of experience. But I don't want to scare anyone who wants to get into the space to think that you also need to have a story that is just like mine. But I was exposed to the world of PR when I was a blogger. I used to have a fashion blog. And it was when blogging was starting off before influencer marketing, when people used influencers, but rather using bloggers. And that's where I was introduced to events, attending launch events, product drops, press releases, coverage. And that really morphed into me having my own fashion brand, which was Who Killed Biko Tote Bags. I then moved from that and I created Amplified. I feel like I am rushing through it, but
Yeah.
agency experience, also working at ad agencies, has been a great contribution in me starting my own thing and a motivator. The negatives have been a motivator. So I've been working in award-winning agencies, and I realized that there's only one seat for the black kid,
Yeah.
if there is
Yeah.
any seat for that matter. I
Yeah.
was like, nah, this is not the game that I want to play, and had my valuable experience in those agencies, but I knew that there was no opportunity for me to grow because there could just be one of us in there.
Yeah.
And I disrupted the conventional way of doing things, and I
Yeah.
started Amplified PR. I really started it out of two reasons that actually stand out for me. Was one, I wanted I wanted location independence in my
Yeah.
work. And then the second reason was I wanted to tell our stories, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have been telling our stories
Yeah.
in a wrong way. And I was like, I want to be a representative, the middleman between media and the guys that want to tell their stories. Okay, enough
Yeah.
yapping.
Okay. No, no, that's amazing. And call me. And then in terms of what do you call it? In terms of your, what is PR? Let's start there, because I think people kind of get it twisted with other things. So, what is public relations?
Public relations is basically building reputations, brand awareness, and reputations around a brand or a personality or an individual. It is a form of using media as a platform for telling your story. It is
Yeah.
how you want the public to perceive you. Should you, if you are an organization, the good work that you do, amplifying that and having a speaker. So public relations is basically, what do we call that big speaker that you use? That
Or like a
radio
bullhorn or
talks.
something. I don't know.
Yes. So public relations is basically that instrument that
Yeah.
gets you to the right targeted audience that you want to speak to. So it could be using any platform, media platform or social media included to tell your story.
Okay. So so being a PR agency, what do you exactly do you do then in that realm?
I do a lot of announcement work.
Hmm.
So my clients would be dropping a product or they've done a virtual street art tour, and ensuring that they get the exposure of their good work or the reputation, perception, because we are in the business of perception, reputation, how people are speaking about you. Marketing, PR is not essentially marketing. It's more about what are people saying about you. And the only way that you can control that narrative is word of mouth, but you influence that narrative by telling that story. So, your question was, can you go back to your
Yeah. So
question?
now, I mean, yeah, you answered it.
Okay.
Yeah. I was asking, so what does the agency do in that space and stuff? Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
like a lot of content creators. I like a lot of content creators. Usually influencers, video production, technology influencers. So not necessarily your influencers, but there are some really good marketers that use
We're losing your sound, huh? It's like you're far, far away.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah. Now we hear you.
Oh, so sorry. Okay. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Now we hear you. Now we hear.
okay. This is gonna
Yeah.
be a
You.
problem as always. The IG lives. Let me try to just. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Can you
something
guys
is on
hear
your
me
speaker.
now?
Yeah. Now we're perfect again. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Cool. So you mentioned something that's interesting to me. You said that bloggers are not influencers, whereas I thought bloggers were just a category under influencing.
No, 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 no. It started in that way. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I don't want
Yeah.
to get into the influencer conversation. I hold a dear part for my influencers. I love them. But I'm saying that influencers before Instagrammers were influencers
Yeah.
or Twelebs were influencers. Um, the, the the space was more played for bloggers, if I
Yeah.
can put it that way. The introduction of influencer marketing was first started with bloggers creating
Yeah.
content for their blog platforms because it was a form of media in a sense.
Yeah.
And then that moved also, and then brand managers, marketing managers saw the value now in social media management with social media platforms, and those are your Instagram, your Facebook, Twitter, etc. So it has evolved. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It first started with bloggers. And I'm really open for comments and discussion if anyone has another opinion regarding that.
Yeah. So basically, when you're building an agency, how do you have employees yet? What stage are you in now in building this business, basically?
Well, I use a lot of database of individuals.
Okay.
I cannot afford people that are paid permanently because reality is work comes in on a project basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Eva. Hello, Grace. I just want to say hello to everyone. Hello, Fundiswa. Thank you so much, guys, for engaging. So agency-wise employment, look, the reality is budget cuts happen over COVID-19, but the plan
Yeah.
is to actually grow. And I've
Yeah.
seen that I do need a lot of assistance, and having a virtual assistant or having interns works better for me. Because those are fresh new minds and they don't exactly understand the industry. They're interested in it, but they're also daring. I'm really open to risks. I'm open to people that just like want to disrupt,
Yeah.
because that's what I've also done in my work. So in terms of that and clients, it's really my investment is to create employment, but it's hard to do permanent employment. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Okay. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of building a business, there's with COVID-19 now. How has
Mm.
been like? How are your clients then interacting with you? Are you receiving now a lot more clients looking? They want noise, but at the same time, the publications I was publishing, all of these press releases, all this news are shutting down. So now, how are you as a PR agent then playing that role basically in that space? How are you
Mm.
in the center, and how's that working out?
Well, for my clients, I've really sold the angle of digital because we are
Yeah.
looking at digital being long term. It's content that sits there for forever. Let me call it that. So I've pushed that, and I've seen a lot of value in social media in social media platforms, and I've seen a great value in influencers. So
Yeah.
instead of that narrative being only for print and TV and radio, we look at the target audience. Yes, publishing houses are closing down. So you find creative ways to drive the messaging for your client, and budgets are being cut. So I've had to look at digital platforms. That's my first, you
Yeah.
know,
Avenue. Yeah.
option, and also content creators. So
Yeah.
whoever is actually on the line, and as a content creator, I just want to say they should continue pushing their work, because we discuss content creators in meetings and see how we can work together for them now, being the media platforms, non-traditional media platforms that we work with. So my clients it had gone to a conservative space where they're like, yes, we don't want to make a lot of noise because everyone is making a noise.
Yeah.
And I've been advising that, but I've also been advising quite storytelling and being authentic. Our audience knows now when they're being sold to. Consumers know that. But how do you tell authentic stories or good deeds that you are doing as a company, and how can we amplify that? People are tired of sell. They want to know how far does my rand stretch? What good
Yeah.
work are you doing as an organization? It doesn't stop at, oh, I've bought your product, but we want to know a story behind each brand, and we want to know the faces behind the brands, the executive management. So consumers are also evolving. It's not just only the media landscape that's
Mm-hmm.
being disrupted, but also there's an element of conscious consumption. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. So for someone like me, for example, I'm not the biggest fan of anything too public. We are under the philosophy of, oh wait, so if you build it, people will see it, whatever kind of
Yeah.
mentality. What advice would you give someone like me who's not necessarily wanting to be visible or seen, want to work to be seen, but then also B, who might not necessarily have the budget to pay a full PR agency. So how do you now convince someone like us to basically invest in PR, get an agency behind us, that kind of stuff? Because we are potentially your clients, right?
Yeah, yeah. You first take stock. First take stock, and really, this is going to be a very snarky thing that I say, but
Yeah,
these are the conversations that happen in the room. When I sit with clients, it's like the first thing that they want to know is, what's your claim to fame? And claim
yeah,
to fame is, what are you doing that should make me listen to you? There's a
yeah,
lot of noise, but what's so special about you?
yeah,
What good would a PR agency get out of you? What's the story that we are telling? And it goes on and on of like, how different are you? So it
yeah,
starts there. So the PR angle for you could be your startup story. It can be your founder's story of, we see creative nestlings, it's flourishing, but you don't know the struggles and the challenges, the breakthroughs that I've had to go through and the hurdles to get to where I am.
yeah.
So we play it back in that way of,
Uh,
tell your authentic story, because that is what makes you then different from the rest.
yeah,
You are invested in youth creativity and youth creative entrepreneurs. We take that and then we package it into a story that relates with current affairs, let's say.
yeah,
So you always have to link it up to what is the talk of the town currently, and how can we
yeah,
link our story with that, but still
yeah,
remain authentic to us.
yeah,
Um, and then if it's a small business, whoever's listening in is a small business owner, your images are important, your professional images are important. Your your quick bio, like if any publication could come to you right now and say, who are you, what do you do, and what is your why, you need to have that written down. You need to have the basics down. I do have what is this, a Twitter thread of showing like doing PR on a shoestring budget.
yeah,
I've shared that. But as a small business, I always say, start by telling your story, because that's what sets you apart from the rest. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's amazing because I think the challenge with small business, but also people that don't like the spotlight or any what do you call it? Any
Mm.
value. We don't necessarily see that as a value, but like I mean, when you're talking to me now, I'm thinking, okay, wait, maybe I should invest in PR because there's always confusion in what I'm doing. So PR could help in that angle, basically, because we're doing projects, but then the project are not necessarily being seen, basically. So I guess that's where PR comes in, and I think that's
Yeah.
always the fear is like I can do it myself. Also, social media. Or how do you deal with people that think they can do it themselves?
Firstly, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And the misconception about PR is that people think that it's a tactic to make you seem famous. You know, they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, please make me famous. This is PR." No. And that's why I named my agency Amplified, because I amplify stories. I find the
yeah,
actual story of what's the work as creative nestlings. What are you doing as an organization? And I feel that you should let your story be out there, because number one, you attract investors in the future, and that's why
yeah,
people do PR. I need to also highlight that it's not only for your target audience or your customers, but it's for future investments. When mergers happen, when new acquisitions happen, you would find that people are making a noise about that, because they want to validate their own agency.
yeah,
So really, it's not a humble brag. That's not PR. It's really
yeah,
about talking about what you do. That
yeah,
is essentially what happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Someone inside stop playing loud music around me. It's Johannesburg. Johannesburg. No respect for neighbors, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hello,
then, I mean,
Tanonka. Maybe we can go get into Q&A. Yeah. Or this is all up to you.
yeah.
Because
No, I mean,
I'm
she's
seeing
saying,
a lot of comments.
yeah, they're saying they love you and they want you in their lives. So you guys should hit her up. they must follow you and hire you basically for to do their work and to do the work and all that kind of stuff. Definitely. I
Yeah.
think lastly, so what should people basically how do people contact you firstly, right? But then also, what do you want people to remember about this agency? What makes your agency now the PR agency to go to right now, basically?
It's a hard question to answer, and a lot of people always ask me this: what makes you different from the rest? I think I do things ethically, consciously, conscious business, conscious PR, storytelling. So if you want a quick fix, overnight success story, I am not the agency to come to. I do everything with care, and I build relationships before I run a business. So,
Yeah,
and that's why I stopped working for someone, because I wanted to do life on my own terms. I connect with individuals that share the same values as me, if similar values. So, sustainability. I play in the lifestyle space. I
yeah,
have to highlight that also. I cannot be everything to everyone, and I love playing according to my strengths. And lifestyle sector is where I play in very well, and that includes creative artists, talent.
yeah,
So anyone who would be associated with creative nestlings, of course. But
yeah,
I don't make noise. I create the work. So
yeah,
that is my different selling point. And another one is that I do work ethically. I am an ethical entrepreneur. I feel like there are people that run with people's money, or they run with
yeah,
people's ideas, and they go MIA.
yeah,
But your 100 Rand is just as valuable as the next person's 100 Rand. So every client that walks into my doors is just as valuable as the client who was there before them. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Definitely. I don't know if there's any questions for people before this battery of mine dies and decides to play some bad music. I think for most people, I think
Yeah.
they just need to contact you.
Yeah.
Follow Siki, book Siki. It's
Mhm.
a good time now for PR, especially if you got something, product or business that you're building. And I think
Mhm.
we all need to make the right noise, like you're saying. Because I think it's always interesting that you can never find what you're looking for when you're really looking for it. I think because most people don't have PR.
Mhm.
So definitely, I think it's just important. There's a question there. What is your hope for Amplified?
Oh, I'm busy. I'm building a global business. My hope for Amplified is that I want to contribute to the emancipation of young girls by teaching them digital marketing skills. That
Yeah,
is my core vision right now, is that I want to economic emancipation for young
yeah,
girls, and for them to have digital skills so that they can work at agencies, or they can also start their own amplifiers.
yeah. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. So franchises soon across Africa, basically across the world.
Yes. Yes.
Franchises and everything. No,
Yeah.
definitely. I think it's a good time for that kind of powerful building and messages behind it and stuff. It's time for the
Mm.
new age to take over and everything. Yeah, yeah. No, thank you very much, and good luck to you. People
Thank
can
you.
just tell people where they can reach you, how to reach you.
Guys, I'm on social media. I'm in the DMs. I'm at Siki Travels. If you want to work with me, you can follow me. Also, Amplified underscore PR. That is the agency itself. Please, please, please subscribe to my newsletter, because I tell real, raw stories of how I am actually building this agency as I
Yeah,
go along. So I bring you
yeah,
in on that journey. Please subscribe to my newsletter. But I'm really on social media, and I'm active on social media, and you won't miss me if you want to work with me.
yeah. I
Thank
think there's
you.
one question. Uh, does your agency work outside of SA?
Does my agency work outside of SA? I work within Africa. I have to emphasize that.
Yeah,
For now, I work within Africa. I've had clients outside of Africa, Nigerian clients. So I do work in Africa. Yeah. Yeah.
no, cool. Thank you. Before my battery guys, and our time is up. You're billing me for this time, so let's respect it.
It's okay.
So
Thank
thank
you
you,
so much,
guys.
Julian.
Thank you for everyone
Yeah.
for watching, and thank you for sharing this whole story. Good luck to you. People must book you. They can find your information on your Insta, on the DMs. So yeah, let's book each other and grow each other. Thank you. Take care. Take care, Siki.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, guys. You're welcome to watch the video if you missed out from the beginning. It's going to be available on IGTV, YouTube, and everything. Apologies for the background noise. Neighbors are not. It's alcohol again, so we know how that goes in Maboneng. Thank you guys for watching this, and take care. We're gonna another one at 7, talking about architecture and technology, basically. And that's a cool one. So thank you guys. Take care, and bye bye.